Qualtrics for that. I don't know if that's something.
All right, we're live.
Right. Right. Okay. I guess for Qualtrics stuff, we're kind of on path for the rollout in Mesa in May. Yeah. Right. Um, yeah, you might talk to them about it or see if they can punt it a week or something. It's yeah, well, it's not great planning to put it in the middle of graduations. And I mean, how much do you need to help with it in reality? Yeah. Or pre-record some little video clips. All right, yeah, we'll figure it out, and I guess, that's, as far as events and stuff like that stuff's coming up pretty quick. So it'll be a busy time, though. I mean, if we can't figure out a way to take off earlier in the week or something like that to prevent crazy overtime, we'll do that. All right, Dreon, what you got going on? Yep. I'm not right now, but right. Yeah, and then I would say to just get this knocked out. I mean, it's not a hugely important thing, but Gene wants the world, but, I would say just get her done. All right, go ahead. Yes, just all your receipts and stuff like that. Scan them, or you can maybe even take pictures of them or something like that too, yeah. And I guess as far as the trip stuff too, I mean, what were kind of some of the things that you saw there that? Yeah, there's some good multi-camera stuff too in Premiere. So I mean, if you guys are still, if you're not live switching with like the graduations and stuff like that, it should, you know, speed up editing a graduation. You just put everything on the timeline and match them up, and then by waveform, basically, yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it is. Right. now. I mean, even if we get even blank ones or something like that too, we have, you know, the ability to cut cut vinyl here, and you can make little vinyl stickers or whatever to put on them. Okay, yeah. Yeah, well, that's cheap then, yeah. Oh, okay, weird. Right. Yeah. So these are the ones we have here. Yeah, these don't fold up or anything. We just we drag them around campus because pretty much all of our buildings are connected that we use them in, so. Right, yeah. Yep. Okay, speaker stand, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and like 50-inch TVs are dirt cheap now. Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of like here at our lunch and learn setup, we have just a TV right behind, so we have like a logo and presentation on. Okay. Yeah, be kind of cool to look at. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool to see. Yeah. For students for little projects. Yep. But I always hate loaning out our good cameras to somebody. Well, and most people don't realize. I mean, their phone probably shoots 4K anyway. right? Yeah, I mean, if it's something that works great, and, I mean, it's gonna be multi-use or whatever, then, right? Right, and be mobile. Yeah. Right? Cool. All right, well, we'll check into it. I'm getting a text here from Tim, I'm supposed to be in another meeting right now, but okay, excellent. All right, catch you guys later, let me know if you need anything. Ryan and Draylon, if you find any kids to rent, you need to take off Thursday and Friday too because of the teacher strike, let me know. Okay. Public school. Yep. Yep, see you guys later. Geez, all right. Stop, cancel, get out of there. Come on, come on.
Hey Gene, sorry was
I did a wide enough swing, I'm okay.
kinda getting some other stuff together here and,
I dressed warm because I knew it would be cold out here, it's not as bad as usual.
no,
Well, you just put baby over in a corner though, haven't you?
well, we had to make a little room cause Joey
Gee.
is gonna come out over there, so we may have to put you
That
and
hurt.
Barb over here a little somewhere different. I haven't gotten that far.
Okay,
I'm kinda,
I'm just gonna find a chair and shut up then, how's
I've
that?
gotta get in here and get this.
Hello, Gene.
Hello, Dean, how are you?
I'm ready for today to be over with.
Well, I thought you were just gonna enjoy it so much. Okay, Corey, here's your monthly bribe.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes,
Yeah, I'll
we
do
gotta
that, I
keep
think.
bribing you. Well, I figured today you would.
Yeah, I need to go back and do it lower third real quick.
Yep,
Dean.
I'm here.
Can you do me
You
a
got me?
chair real quick,
Yep.
and I'll just
Yep.
sit here out of the way?
Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Let me get one back over here, because I think they're gonna be using this space, so we'll set you back over here.
I can actually sit back here and put a laptop on a chair and be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I think we can get you. Actually, chair here.
Yeah, down,
Set you.
we're down in the studio getting ready for the noon thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Thank you.
good here, and I'll get you. Watch out. Whoop, hold up. You got, you're hung up here. Hold on a second, Jim. Hold on.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
got it.
see,
There
okay,
you go.
thank
Good.
you.
Yep. Okay, I'll set these back here and then.
All right, thank you.
And
I
then-
could actually, maybe even down the corner here.
I will get you in just a second. Let me go back.
Okay,
I need
I'll
to-
just sit and be quiet.
I need to go get that.
Do you want my laptop to do it, or?
I don't have, I need Photoshop, and I don't have
Oh.
Photoshop on anything, so I need to grab
What you
that.
get for using
Yep.
something like that?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Dean, you're probably wishing 2 weeks ago you didn't open your mouth, aren't you?
And we've got those, where we can move 1,000 courses or whatever, we pay the fee for that bulk move, but
Oh my
we
gosh.
didn't, actually, we haven't actually found anybody yet. We've talked to some people and say, we can move this stuff for you in
Uh-huh.
bulk, but we've not had anything, that's moved it yet. Anybody that's said they wanna move it yet.
Because they're gonna do it at the last minute and need a lot of help. That reminds me of years and years and years ago, I think we were moving whatever the email we had over to Gmail.
Yeah.
And Tim was doing a bulk move, were you here?
Yep.
And he got off one on all of them? That, I got in on cleaning it up, Brian had been traveling, he was cleaning it up, Tim was cleaning it up.
Yeah.
And I had to sit up until 2 in the morning working on it. And I'd taken NyQuil, so that was real good.
Right. And we, but we got that floating out there to where we can see if next, spring, if somebody really gets in a bind, we can, I guess, upload a bunch of them to a drive and send them to you guys. Yeah, that was like the minimum. That was the minimum. Right, that's, we're moving to a 2-year policy as well, to where we're gonna have 2 years out there. We're keeping Blackboard for 2-year archive period, but then also we're moving, we're gonna get rid of a lot of the older stuff as well. To where after 2 years, Blackboard will just be gone, and then people will be out of luck. I guess the other things too, that we're spring's kind of slipping away from us, but we'll need to get into some more of the training at this point, and really pushing a lot of stuff out here, because we got, our school is so disjointed, because each different school does it a different way. A couple of the schools only have academic designers that do all the work in Canvas and don't want their faculty to really know much. They just how to use it. But then some of the other schools have the faculty who do everything and want all the little details. So it's we've got individual trainers school by school, but it doesn't sound like it's being pushed out from each school level. So we'll have to probably do more stuff from us to raise awareness.
Boy, now that was fast.
Yeah, you gotta think about everything else but that lower third.
The one for the
For Dean.
3D.
Yeah. I was like focusing on everything else but that. All right. Barb should be here in a minute. I'll have her get a table so you can
That's
set your
just
laptop
fine.
up and
You
monitor chat.
eat your breakfast, relax.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
know.
fast track videos?
What's that? Oh,
Yeah, he's trying to do two things at one
Multitasking.
time. Yes.
you got our live camera up now. From the studio here.
Cool.
It's a higher quality one than we had last time, so it's a better quality.
And the people have a mindset too that they need to be trained. And what, instead of going out and seeking some information, they want us to push information at them.
Talking about
Yeah, and I was thinking maybe even doing something like office hours or something like that too, and having to where we just have an open Zoom meeting and, you know, Friday afternoons or whatever, have it to where, you know, people could pop in and talk about it.
Uh-huh.
I think Barb, there's one right there you can
Something to be said for just sitting here looking helpless.
so I'm gonna look here in a minute, I don't figure it out.
You may look fired.
Yeah, I know.
He's not gonna fire him.
What?
He's not gonna get fired.
You just wait.
He's gonna run
Yeah,
that.
sure. Wait a minute, knock it up there. It never fails. How many things I think I have done and ready to go.
Well, and like I said yesterday, this one, we're flying by the seat of our pants.
Mhm.
And hopefully you guys know what you're doing, but I sure don't.
Well, I think we'll get it, we can just get the.
If nothing else, we can have Joe do stuff on the green screen and.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be neat once we kind of rolling with everything here.
I think my house looks dusted.
Alright, I wanna
I'm
do
gonna do
live video.
this.
Do that, and then
Okay,
the
show
man
me.
over here.
And last time, I did not like the iPad nearly as well as I liked the computer. Well, we should have broadcast from outside today.
Mhm.
That would have been your biggest nightmare,
Yeah.
Cory.
Worried
Dean's,
about that.
could've gone to Dean's office, the Denslow office.
Yep.
There we go. Alright, so this one is called. Learn. Season 6, episode 7. Augmented. Yeah. And 3D. Okay. What are we gonna say here? Welcome.
Do you have access? Never
I'm
mind, just
logged.
do it. Just do it.
Mhm.
You'll do just as well as I do, okay?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what, welcome to
Our show, idiots.
another great lunch and learn. Demoing, D-E-M-O-I-N-G, is that correct?
Yeah, I think at this point, a lot of what we need to do is just awareness and a little bit of training too, and I was thinking it might be that we have people, you know, keep on pushing out the
Bailey has been
Uh,
together for 3 weeks, so.
first look canvas and the course basics, and just saying, you know, if you wanna do this, if you wanna do anything else, you need to watch these first, and then start offering like some, like the grade book and, creating assessments and things like that, a little higher level courses, and have people on their own check out the lower end courses. have like prerequisites for going to the upper level courses.
That 3D camera looks so cool. Or I assume that's what
Uh-huh,
one is.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and actually, I don't know that I'm doing that quite right. Or, yeah. The way you're supposed to do it, I'm not doing it quite right here. 'Cause, do that differently, because that shouldn't show that view like that. It ought to be, it should be where we can turn it around. Hitting. Will that 360 YouTube thing work on an iPad, or do you have to do it on a PC to move around in it? You know, when you were messing around with it last time.
You have to have Chrome, I think, is the trick, but
Oh, is it? Okay, maybe that's what I should have done. Let me.
I don't think the other browsers work with it.
I was doing it directly from the YouTube app, and it was just, it just came.
If it lets you use Chrome, a lot of times they want to force you into using the app.
Yeah, let me. Well, I was using the app. That's what was throwing me. Now, what do you do? See, the thing is, it's showing the, instead of actually showing the where you can click in it view, it's showing the.
Yeah. Right. But like,
Is there-
yeah, I don't know, I mean, it works with this version of
I
a,
think
Oh, it is,
I'm
okay.
gonna
Huh.
have to buy
it's the
Weird.
it's browser.
and I think a gas grill, I can't handle that because of the tank.
Okay, well.
And a charcoal grill, I can't handle, 'cause the charcoal.
Here you come.
Yeah, okay.
I'm wondering have you ever had a?
Pretty much Chrome, is that?
Chrome
but-
is, yeah.
It just looks so handy.
Okay.
And I'll show this
Is there a
within,
gas line to your house?
I'll bring this up on this laptop and
Yes,
push it to the presentation.
Oh, well, that'd be even easier yet, then I won't have to fuss with it over here. All right, I'll let you do that.
Can I do,
Yeah.
Some
That'd be
those-
can I do a
yeah,
notes page
yeah.
too, or how?
But anyway, the electrics aren't that bad. I
A
mean,
notes
just
page
try one.
on,
And
I can
see.
use my
yeah,
iPad though. I
that may
guess.
be safer bet. Well, that's good. I'm gonna then let you do that.
Oh, come on, I'm connected. Don't do that.
It's 7%.
Yeah, but I've got.
But you're powered.
Yeah, I just gotta make it. I don't care. All right. Tried to look Brian last week, but I'd never been prompted for that certificate I now have.
Huh.
YouTube will let me put it, or Facebook will let me put a YouTube link in. We'll try this. So, welcome to another great lunch and learning. Today, we'll be demoing some
Will you
know.
read it to make sure you spell everything correctly?
Corey
Walk
is
around
a
here.
genius.
Yeah, walk around.
Corey is the recipient
I'm not a
of the
spell checker.
Distinguished Service Award. He can do anything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And they still haven't come to take
They
it
haven't
back.
came and taken it away, yeah. I screwed it to the wall really good though, so they'll have a hard time, watch this.
I
But
see, you've created a jump rope.
Actually, if Dean's gonna do that, I'm not even gonna worry about this one now. I'm gonna let you pull that up.
Dean's name is spelled correctly, okay. Another game launch.
Yeah, figured I could probably get that part of it right.
Demoing, that doesn't look right.
I think it is
I-
though.
I know, but it just doesn't look right.
We'll change it to demonstrating then.
Demonstrate, yeah, let's do it.
I gotta watch this, I'll have, this thing.
Let me do this.
All right, Dean, I'm gonna move this over a little bit so it's not. And we need to get mics on you guys. Let's see, do you have? I need to check this stuff.
Right.
And that's gonna be tricky when you guys go over to,
Yeah.
we'll get you.
Can I have a wireless?
I have one. The only problem is it was acting a little funky with me. Let me see how much. This one should have enough cord where you could drape it over. If there's something that gets some interference down here for some reason.
Okay.
I think if I coil this one out here, yeah, you'll have enough room to leave the one you got on here. Just stay over here and let Joe kind of come around. And so I'll just leave this one kind of sitting here on the floor. Barb's gonna hate all the cords, but
I don't care anymore,
yeah,
you know what?
it's gonna be what it
My
is
house
today.
looks like a bomb went off in it, I can stand this. Okay, do you wanna look at it?
So, and I need to go in here and check the stream.
And it needs a comma, but.
I don't care.
Okay, you okay?
How's that for?
We'll just go live.
No, don't go live yet. Yeah, don't do that.
I just wanted to
Yeah,
see if you were
yeah,
listening.
Yeah, don't do that. Alright.
I just changed the word demoing to demonstrating, and even demonstrating isn't, demonstrating.
Showing would work.
Yeah. You know how common
Sometimes-
words
Yes,
just.
just don't, and I'm getting worse about it.
Oh,
so.
me too. I think it's fine, I just changed that word and added a comma after the word today.
Alright, got that, I think, ready to go. Check, make sure, okay, we got room there.
Okay. Is it being double backed up?
No, I'm just gonna use the internal drive.
Okay.
Alright, we'll load the graphics and stuff here, right, so we've got. 3D design and season 6.
That looks like the right one. Security, is that the final? Security
Okay.
final? Scroll,
Hold on, let me get this done first.
Why is it?
oh,
I'm trying to get there.
there you got it.
Let's have it selected.
Alright.
Just hold, just roll over it, it should.
Okay, real quick, I got a couple minutes.
No, I just wanted to see, the only difference is the ending. Ooh.
Now, there will be, if you wanna pull that live,
Is
Yep,
that
it's the
that
right
link?
one.
To YouTube.
let's see if I can, I am get the link here.
it's gonna be not so hard to watch everything with not having a feed from Arizona.
Yeah, but we've got that extra.
Yeah, so it's a good thing.
We don't have that.
So are you in Hangouts, Gene? Is that what you're using to talk to?
I haven't opened Hangouts yet,
Can-
but I
or you-
am, yeah, just go
okay.
ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna find
Yeah.
this in Hangouts so you can, I don't know if you wanna go ahead and just start a group chat real quick and add me in it for
Okay.
Joe, and then
Sure.
invite Joe into it,
This thing's.
and then I'll pop in that.
Dean, are you gonna have a computer to be, do you wanna be in the group chat?
He'll have, are you kidding me? Will he have a computer? He's had 4.
It's still, quite a lot. And you,
Yeah,
If you'll do
here I would
Facebook,
thought,
Can't
I'm
even
gonna have no
get
problems
can't
with all this
get
stuff. Everything's gonna be
to
smooth.
Facebook because I put new security on it. And next time somebody says do two-factor authentication, I'm gonna kick them.
I don't understand a word.
Well, that's another
So now
problem
that-
from mobile devices.
Yeah, we got the 2
Dean,
laptops
Joe,
there.
Barb, Corey, and I'm me, so that's it. Okay, I got one open.
And I need to make sure I got audio now. I haven't even gotten that far with everything.
1, 2, 3, yep.
So, Barb, can you hop in there and grab Joe's mic and let's make sure his mic's
Sure.
working and make sure I've got,
Did you send me a, like?
not yet, are you
Okay,
in the
that's
chat?
fine. I mean,
Group chat, here we go. Season 6.
Do you
Is
wanna
it-
wear
is
your
episode
ID,
5?
Dean, or is it getting in the
Is that
way?
the one?
Check, check, check.
Well, that may be an old one to me.
I think it's 6 and 6.
So how do I look by chat, by group? When you
I
set up a
just
group
did
chat-
one, I didn't name it, I just called it Dean, Joe, Barb.
Oh, okay.
I'll s-
Does it show up as,
But here, let me
All right,
just.
good stuff.
Do something
Yeah,
to
and
it.
we just have to get on the
And
ball
you
here
should
and get things
Oh, here we
rolling
go. I got
with
it.
the,
Yeah, I got
our marketing campaign, so.
Thank you.
Alright,
Now,
so
I-
Barb, I'm gonna need to check that mic.
Are you ready?
This.
Alright, I need to figure something
Check,
out.
check,
here. I'm
check.
hearing
This is-
that.
Joe's mic, number 1, check, check, check. Oh,
Okay.
All right, very good. I'm gonna have to run. but-
check, check, check.
Yeah, I'm in studio right now, getting ready for lunch and learn.
Okay, so Barb, go ahead.
Check, 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 testing 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6. Joe's mic,
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and keep talking.
check 1, 2, 3.
All right, I
4,
better run,
5,
but
6.
talk
I
to you
can
guys
hear
later.
myself in the headphones. Headset.
Thanks.
Check, check, check.
I'm
Check, check,
not
check.
hearing that one at all.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4. I can hear it. It's
Do-
listed as mic 4.
You're hearing yourself?
I'm hearing myself, yes.
Okay, then that's me then.
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Did I?
5,
Oh,
6.
Totally
Corey,
and
Corey,
completely
did I?
tied into that.
You are hearing yourself?
Yes, I
Okay.
can hear myself. Check 1, 2, 3,
Okay, so why am I
4,
not
5,
hearing
6.
it?
Check.
Google Drive,
ATSU
Google
lunch
Drive,
and
Google Drive,
learn.
Google Drive, Google Drive,
ATS
Google Drive,
lunch
Google
and learn.
Okay, go ahead and talk.
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Upgrade to Mac OS High
Okay,
CA.
I'm hearing you, but it's not the right mic.
Check.
Go ahead and, that mic.
Alright, here's the other
is
mic.
Not working. Seemed like we had an issue with that
Okay.
last time, so,
But I can still hear it.
yeah, but at a distance. Don't you hear
No,
that?
I hear
1,
it
2, 3,
clear.
4, 5.
You do?
I hear.
I'm on this other mic. Google Drive, Google Drive,
I hear
Google
it
Drive,
nice
Google
and
Drive,
clear.
Google Drive, Google Drive.
Check, 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 check.
Yeah, I hear you
Where the
now.
hell's Google Drive at?
So you're hearing that? Okay, well.
Google,
Here,
Google,
you wanna
Google,
hear it in
Google,
mine?
Google,
No,
Google Apps.
no, I'm just trying to figure out
Drive.
why I'm not hearing it. Well, I'll get it here in a minute. So I've got.
And you are extreme.
Me?
No, no,
check,
no.
Check, 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 check.
Get off of there.
Mine is,
Yes, I can hear you.
check, check, check,
Okay.
check, check, check.
Nice and strong.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Alright.
Get off of
So-
there, you booger. That's not
Okay,
gonna
1,
work
2, 3.
at
Alright,
all.
so I am getting it there.
I can hear you.
So why am I not hearing it here? That's the question. I'm figuring that out in a second. aux one out. These are all feeding into aux one. There's 4 mics plugged in. That one we don't need to worry about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep, that, well, you muted.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, that's muted.
All right, that's the one. Check, check,
Uh-huh.
check, 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 check,
Isolated
check,
to
check,
that.
check, check, check. Check, 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 check. I don't understand why I'm not hearing. Check, 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 check. I'm hearing stuff, but I'm not hearing, oh, wait a minute.
1,
Here
2,
we go.
3, 4, 5.
There we go. All right, I see what I had.
Electronic one, what?
That's, I'll explain later.
Okay.
All right, so I hear it now. So that
Okay, good.
is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3,
Yes.
4, 5. That is that one.
Mhm.
All right, that'll be fine. That'll be his.
Okay,
1,
That's
2,
three.
check, check, check.
Okay, hold on a second. Dean, go ahead and talk in that.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay,
5.
gotcha. All right. So we got 2 mics then. Joe, check Joe's again real quick, would you?
Mm-hmm. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Check, check, check.
Again, please.
Checking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Check, check, check. This is Joe's mic and Joe's headset.
Okay, that'll be good. I think we're good there. Joe won't need the headset per se on this, because we're not gonna have any
Okay.
remote people, so that we don't have to worry about.
All right, we'll take
Actually,
that
I
off.
wouldn't even hook that part up.
Nope, I'll just hide
And then
it.
just leave the mic right there for him now. When
I
they
got
get
it
to
ready.
the part where he's gonna walk over with Dean to the VR thing.
Mhm.
Has this been
We're-
booted up? Are we okay on that?
Yeah, that one is,
Now,
ready.
This
Right.
one's trying to
Oh,
do
so
upgrades, so you
You'll
want.
have to open it up, Dean, and fire it up.
Okay,
real
I
quick.
need that to be on then.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Do you want water? No, you have water.
I did have water, but,
You do.
I have a sock.
I brought water, so.
Okay.
So there we got that. All right.
Corey, do you need water?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
You wanna take this? Hey, you finally came out. I think that's pretty good booting time.
Must have some age on it.
Annoying prompts Max getting.
I'll clean up, I had Aaron's name.
All right. Yeah, so we fire
Joe will
that.
have to take off his mic then to do this.
Yep, right. That's what I figure he'll do, so. Headset not tracking?
Yeah, I need to get the headset in there.
All right. So just set it up.
Okay, am I
We got-
using it? Live.hsu.edu?
Yes.
Oh,
See, aren't you glad I bribed you, Corey?
Mm.
Yum, fresh.
Good year. yeah.
Fresh
Yeah.
chew.
Fresh
Yes,
chew.
fresh chew, it is
You
good.
could put it in your pocket and like, some people have the little
Yeah, the
rectangle,
little,
you could have
yeah.
a little rectangular.
Hey, we could get you a round thing, one of those plastic,
Oh,
The
there's
mint
something that,
ones.
yeah.
Mhm.
The
Okay.
girl at the bookstore says, what flavor? I said, I don't care.
Yeah, just. I don't care either, honestly, as long as I have
That's
something
good,
that.
as long as you
on
can
there.
chew.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It does help you kind of focus a little bit.
I think it helps you drown all of us out.
It smells good.
Wonderful, that is not, let me try it right quick again. That does smell good.
What's that,
The gum,
you know, yeah, that's good. You guys want these?
no, thank you, I don't chew gum.
I don't either.
I have a lot
I
of
don't
bridge
chew.
work and it just.
I haven't chewed since I was
You
13.
You haven't chewed gum? Really?
I
Any
got
particular
braces, I got braces and I played the flute and I just
Wonderful.
never, I just stopped
Not
chewing gum when
gummy.
braces
Oh.
came out, cause they didn't have the sugar, the non-stick stuff.
Yes, I don't know.
All right. let's figure this one out. Unplugged.
Finally.
Figured out
I
point why it's
had
not
good
tracking.
GPS in it.
I popped the chat in on that one.
You figured out why it's not tracking?
I unplugged the sensors.
Okay.
Dean knows more about that thing than I do. I haven't really done much other than play with it just a little bit. I got two cameras, the
What is
Dell and the VR one.
the ITS? Yeah, password.
All right,
Login is that?
Track it,
Okay, so it's ITS.
but not that,
What you think,
you're
Dave?
like.
I need to have the other
Right.
And
screen
you know
back.
what? We
Oh,
may
sorry.
have- Try going to your own account and then going out to Facebook or
Forgot
out
about
to
that.
the ITS. Because I double passworded this and I'm gonna have to go home and figure out what I've done wrong.
We don't need this little thing in
Yeah, I see it there.
Alright. I think I got every camera angle up in the lower third.
Got your phone turned off, Dean?
No. It's been
Think I did
going
that
off all
one,
damn
don't you?
day.
All damn day. Sounds like a song.
Okay.
All right, so now, why won't this effing thing?
Oh, I did get into it on my phone, so I can do Facebook if I need to.
You might not wanna pull that up on your phone unless you put headphones on, because it may wanna feed back with the
Okay.
audio. Well, if you do, you can, just make sure you don't have, volume turned up or
Okay.
it'll kinda get weird.
Anything we can do to screw you up for it. we're
Yeah.
gonna do.
Alright, this one right side.
I can tell you one thing, I'm gonna have to get more organized. I am so bad about leaving stuff.
Oh, like
Yeah,
today, the way we did it today.
No, I'm just saying where I keep, I don't have a, I need to be more like Jamie, be more.
You mean using folders and things?
Yes,
that way
right,
instead of
well, I
just
do
clicking
folders, but I
save?
don't do the same folders, I'll go and create new ones and,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah,
I
it's
never
the
keep the same stuff in the same place ever, you know. Alright. Good.
I was glad to see Jamie gave a quick plug to Debbie Summers in the video.
Oh, we did?
Yeah,
Didn't watch all of it, I just watched it, part of it there.
he did a good job.
Yeah, it looked good. Enable recording now. Alright, I think I'm actually ready.
I'm getting close.
You know.
Joe might need to practice with this new thing, but
There, I got in Facebook. You did know Facebook.
Okay, so I'll have it on the.
Okay, I've got everything up that we need.
So
Now,
Dean, one thing I am gonna probably not do is the audio from that, to be safe here.
it won't matter too much.
Okay, good, I didn't think so, I'm being a little weird with something and I just don't have time to figure out what's happening with it.
Hello, Jean.
hello, Joe, how are you?
I'm well, thanks.
Good,
How are you doing?
pretty darn good.
Hi.
Your mic is all set.
Oh, thank you.
I I'm assuming on those new,
Standing by the right place here.
name badges, we can just take our old
What's
one
that,
and
Dean?
turn it to be rectangular, can't we?
They
We'll be
look
okay.
pretty cool. I saw Dean wearing one.
So did you recalibrate that, Dean, so that we didn't have to walk into the wall there?
Good.
Is it?
Well, I just
No, I
figured I
haven't
could
yet.
turn it
Oh,
around
okay.
too.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. I
Get
didn't
you
know.
halfway there.
Get you that punch. And there you go.
You know, you can put a
Yeah.
preferred first name on there. So
We're-
Woo.
if you want to be like Jay Sparkle,
Oh.
you can. I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna have you do this anatomy one.
Yeah?
So what we'll do is, I'm gonna do 3D objects first, I'll do virtual reality, we'll talk a little bit about different things, and then I'll have you probably have to take off your mic and come over here.
Yeah, that's what I wondered. We don't have any wireless.
I have a wireless. I've got one, but it was acting a little weird, so I'm gonna leave Dean corded up. And if you talk, we'll be able to pick you up with his mic.
Okay.
So, good enough.
I don't
Talk
know.
good and loud when you talk. Just
Ooh, we should have captured that
That's
bird blowing
awesome.
his nose, that in 3D.
yeah.
Yeah.
Virtual.
Yeah.
Virtual one. And Joe, we put up a group chat in
I
Hangouts.
saw that. I need to get logged in.
Yeah, log in and then make sure, I got that, if you can, pull up that, I sent the 360 camera link that we've got running right now, which is running live on YouTube. So we can kind of tell people about it. I've got it in the post for Facebook here whenever we,
Okay.
So
I've
Joe,
got live
with
up, I've
this
got
program,
Facebook up, I have
I see you.
Okay.
So I do that, and.
What's that Stream VR box that's hovering over everything?
I have to minimize it,
Oh, okay.
but, there's different things here, you can do like nervous system. And then pick. So I'm just using the trigger finger, and I'm pointing the little pointer.
Uh-huh.
And then it should pop over here, and I'm not 100% sure why it's
So low.
so minimal, so it's not scaled very big, but
Can you walk closer to it?
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you can pick something else, if you can, probably it's a family show, you probably keep away from reproductive, but
Oh, come on now. You just took all the fun out of it.
actually,
let me click on something, it tells you what it is.
Did you have a short of that pre-roll?
I just had to shorten it
I do
slightly.
have a wireless.
Oh, okay.
I'll throw on you,
Just
and
reel
that way you
videos
can
and
use it
just
during
together.
that part. You're gonna use the wired one, so you'll take the wired one
Okay.
off.
Okay.
This one I'll just switch over to whenever you go over there.
Okay.
Try to remember next.
So,
Well, whatever you think. I'm
Yeah,
not trying to be
no, I have it on the
All
card
I
here, and
did was just drop
I don't
it.
like
Yeah,
using it a lot
see, I
because
dropped
it's,
it down.
there's something in here that's given
No.
RF interference to this thing, so
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
do that kind of stuff with it, but, so if you want even, I'll just, if you don't even wanna wear it, then you can leave it here and just throw it on, it's up to you.
They are.
Well, actually, I'll just clip
Well, it is a
just clip
good
it up where you have the other one, so you'll have
But
it.
yeah, I'll
Okay.
just have to figure out.
I'm gonna get some stuff out of my pocket.
Yeah.
Dean's got enough, he'll use the corded because he's got enough lanes on his over there that.
Gene, have you sent out that the YouTube link is live now?
No, I have not.
Corey working.
I will do that.
I think that would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I would be.
Yeah, the VR, the behind the scenes as they watching all this
That's not it.
scamper around here. Okay, so you wanna talk, Joe, real quick?
Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
There
6,
you go.
7,
We're
8,
gonna turn our
9,
volume
10,
down.
11, 12,
Yeah,
14, 15, 16, 17.
yep,
This out.
yeah, that's good. All right, I'll just bring that one down.
If I close my mail,
And I'm hearing
is it
some-
going away?
Is it out of this one?
Oh, yeah, just turn the volume down on the computer. It's good, you can leave it up if you want, just turn the volume down. Yep,
Got it.
yep. Yep,
So
and,
should I just put this other one here?
yeah, just put it kinda right up in there, just make sure, yeah, you can clip it off.
Feel like I'm having a press conference.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, that's sweet. So you got that one, and I got the backup one there.
So that would be on 3D as we're getting set up, correct?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And I put it
That
in the-
camera
in
is
the- in
amazing.
that URL,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
section.
I'm there. I'm just putting a note on Facebook for people to tune in and watch us as we're going.
Okay, and when I post this, when I go live with this, the post that I put up for the live event here will
Yes,
have that
we'll have that,
URL for
okay.
that Facebook or
But
live.
it is live right now, so they could be watching us.
It's
You don't
live
want
on
to watch
YouTube,
it.
but we're not live on Facebook
Gotcha.
yet, but the
Yeah.
YouTube link is
All
live.
right, I am gonna,
But tell people, that's just gonna be, there's no sound in that,
yeah.
and.
I'm just gonna say, here's a temp link.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm muted. Are you muted yet?
and the Chrome browser may be a better browser to view that VR thing, and it seems like sometimes the other browsers don't work very well, so. Okay, so we're getting up on 10 minutes here, Dean, so
All right.
whenever you get.
Calibrate.
Yep.
Hey, can you check and make sure? I was trying to make sure I didn't have any wire that was rubbing against any other part of any other mic. You're not hearing anything rubbing?
No, I think you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, actually what you could do on that, the wireless one I gave you,
There.
you could tuck it in your, inside of your shirt if you wanted to, and that way it wouldn't be, and just pop it out if you wanted. Just take it and.
Yep, that's a good
run-
idea.
Run it up inside the shirt, and that way it won't be, the wireless, yeah, the one in your pocket here,
I
I'll
haven't
hold.
seen you post
That won't
anything.
work.
Have you
Yeah,
posted
just feed it up through there and then
Yeah.
clip it.
Oh, on Facebook I just did, just.
Get undressed in here.
Oh.
Yeah, that'll be
Unseen.
better.
It's not as bad as something, oh, you tucked your pants in one time when we were live.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I actually undo them?
What, you were just tucking.
Oh.
All right.
That's you. That's
I
a
just-
bad way to tuck it. Normally, you gotta get it undone, man. If you're gonna
do a
tuck it
good
in right.
tuck, huh? Yeah, the chat's working.
There we go.
Okay. This is all I.
All right, let me make sure I can hear everybody.
It was just a
good.
quick note. That's a new post. Here's a link on YouTube to watch as we set up.
Did I actually undo
Is that you, Joe? Yeah, okay, yeah, you got the audio, okay, cool.
I just think
Yeah,
it's
if you wanna-
fantastic. We can relive everything.
Yeah, oh yeah, you can rewind it, it keeps a running buffer of the thing, so,
That's awesome.
yeah, that is cool. So, and see, like, on your Mac there, that's not doing the 360 actually, like Dean's is doing for some reason, but that's okay, we've got it, we could drop back to.
What do you mean?
Well, so like on that laptop of Dean's.
Oh, I
over
can
there-
grab it and I can't grab it and
No,
move it.
see, yeah, it's, are you playing it there? Yeah, for some reason, it didn't do that with me on my Mac, and I don't know whether it's a Mac thing or what.
Thunder shirt on?
Yeah, like,
Yes, she does.
I can't grab it and drag it.
yeah, see, like over here,
In the nursing home.
on this laptop?
Mm-hmm. I did it last. I remember when we were able to do that on my.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, it's working over here.
Mhm.
Let me pull,
I'm going to make a comment.
yeah, so,
saying
here, I'm gonna put this
pull
in
this
view
I mean,
out.
it gets.
grab. And
It looks like it's got the whole room in.
Yeah,
one
it's given,
panorama.
it's right, it's just doing it as one big panoramic view.
Not yet.
And, yeah, there's not, if you go to the quality, I guess is that, you click auto and go up to the 1440 just to see, yeah, it's the same deal. Good quality, but look at how
Yeah,
sharp
it looks
is.
fantastic.
Okay.
Watch us ramble to.
Here, wait, look at this stupid thing, I don't
Watch
know why
us
this
prepare.
thing's,
Keep the,
makes you go
keep
into
your
the App Store.
cursor off Jane and Barb.
I don't
Look
wanna
at
do it,
Joe.
but I gotta go to the App Store anyway, so quit the App Store. Oop, there you go. Yeah, so at least it's something we could dump to. For some reason, it seems like
Click
it,
and drag.
oh, would it be a, you know what, now I'm thinking, I wonder if it would be a, yeah, watch out. I wonder if it would be a, something being blocked up here. And then go and always allow. And I'll try apply and load. No, didn't seem like it made any difference. All right. Well, it's there, we show it.
Mm-hmm.
Click, hold, and drag anywhere on.
That on our list of, what the heck?
Okay.
YouTube's
I'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Was it, yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Sounds good.
Joe?
Yeah,
You've had.
We got a lot of toys here.
Yeah, right.
You had all the training you need on
Yeah.
that now.
No,
Can
I'm
you-
not going out there, what?
Go, well, I guess he's gonna be
Wait.
back. I haven't started the pre-roll yet, but I'll wait till he gets back before I do it.
Mhm.
We may run a little into the hour here.
That's okay. Click, hold, drag anywhere on the YouTube screen. to
Oh,
look
here he
around
comes.
the room.
All right. Yeah, hop in and get mic'd up, and make sure level's good on
I told him
everything.
quick 10 minutes.
And then,
Check us out, watch us prepare.
then I'm gonna roll over to the,
show.
when I go to the pre-roll, I won't be able to hear you guys, so clip, if you can, clip in on your mic.
And watch.
What am I seeing here?
Oh, yeah, I switched it over there a second ago, yeah, you.
It's
I've
gonna
lost
go
360 on,
all-
oh, no, I got 360, okay.
Watch us.
Can you put your mic on real quick, Dean?
Yep, if I can find it.
You know,
Oh.
you could change it and be a little more dynamic and say, be part of the studio.
Yeah,
See, I have good thoughts after the fact.
yeah.
Be part of the studio or today's.
Live the
podcast.
experience.
Be Corey.
Of the behind the scenes,
Part
yes.
of-
Live in the hell that's Corey's world.
Or if you wanna delve into a deeper hell, Dean may have
Yeah, dude, yeah.
canvas
Yeah,
on
right.
top of it. What?
Be part
Oh,
of
we
the
could tell you
show.
stories of experiences, trust me, we're
Don't feel
scarred
the
from.
experience, feel the live experience of the show.
Technology is
something
wonderful
like
when it
that.
works, you know, it's just the working part. Alright.
I just make sure I have a little slack there where I can
Yep.
get out and see
Yep.
how far I can get out.
Yeah, it should
All right,
be.
microphone, check, this is Dean's mic.
Be part
Needs
of the
mic.
live
Put it up nice and
experience
high.
of the show.
I'm not,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
hold on a minute, I'm not
Check,
hearing,
check, check,
Alert.
check.
not hearing you for some
1,
reason.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Watch us prepare for
Microphone.
today's show.
Well, it's a little late for.
Okay.
Did you grab another one or
Watch
no?
Check, no, it's the same one.
as the show.
I'm not hearing you on that one,
All
Better
right.
check, make sure
No,
it didn't get
take the
unplugged.
watch out, because you're telling them to be part of the show.
Okay.
Seems like it's plugged
Be
in
part of the
there.
show, click, hold,
Plugged
and
in
drag
there.
to see the entire studio. or
Check,
something
check, check.
like that.
It
As-
was on earlier.
As
Yeah, that's-
today's events
Check, check,
unfold
check,
or
check,
something,
check.
or as lunch and learn
1, 2,
unfolds.
3, 4, 5.
There's no other, that was the mic then.
That was the mic, there's no other mic out here.
Barb, we didn't unplug anything down there, did we?
What? No.
Oh, so defensive,
Yeah.
Barb.
It's this one right here.
He was saying, well,
That
he
one,
was telling me yours was fine.
Mine is good. We checked mine.
Well, I know, but at first it was,
Check, check,
Oh.
check, check.
it wasn't, but it was on my end.
Microphone, microphone, microphone. 1, 2.
Is there
3,
another
4,
one
5.
right there, Dean?
You can come over and look. Well, I mean, there's some headphones here. I don't see another mic, but I'm plugged in.
Everywhere.
All plugged
Here's
in.
one.
Can you trace that, does that go around behind or something then?
Which one? The one I'm messing with or Dean's?
Yeah, no, go. I'm hearing you click that, Dean, that's weird.
Check, 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 check. Microphone, check.
What'd you
check,
do
check, check,
to
check.
make
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Microphone, check.
the other one work? Check, 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 check. Is mic one?
Just
and-
tap on it, Dean, if you would, just a,
Check,
yeah,
check.
I'm not getting it. Well, yeah, I'm
Check,
hearing
check,
it's just
check.
real staticky, it's like I've got a connection issue,
Okay.
yeah. Try, here, try this mic, just see if it's any different than that one.
Okay.
Coming.
Yeah, I've got it, good then. Try that one. Yeah, I'm hearing hiss on that, so that was the line.
Me?
No, you're good. Yep, there we go, that's good.
All right.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
See, just gotta love it.
Yeah.
Gotta love
See?
it, gotta love it.
You
Gotta
see?
love it. Makes no
Joe, I
sense.
have a, chat up too.
So I think
Yeah,
everything
and,
right. Those are
They're
phantom
all
power.
twisty.
Yep, I'm
Right.
good.
So it might be a battery issue or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it is, I think, yeah. They're supposed to be getting phantom power from the board here, but they've got, I've had to put batteries in those things for some reason. I don't know, I'll have to look into it.
All right. Now
All
I'm
right.
tired up and I'm not.
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead now and start some things up here. All right.
Okay.
We are rolling and rocking and rolling. Live
11:50 minutes.
everywhere.
Starting 10 minutes, yeah?
All the time.
Yep.
All right, so we're not starting at noon and even.
Okay,
that?
So we're not starting at noon?
Yeah, it's got a 10-minute pre-roll.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna be a little into the hour here, cause
Yep,
took us a
it's-
minute there.
Life's working, and it looks like Facebook is working, so life is good at the moment.
Alright, so 2 is VR and 1 is the HoloLens. And which are you gonna start with, Dean?
Be doing VR first.
Okay. If you guys catch me and I just yell at me and say.
And then a 360 video I'll do from the computer here.
Okay, yeah, the same one as the
Yep.
HoloLens, yeah. Yeah, it's weird. We pull up the 360 on Joe's laptop there. For some reason, it didn't work on that one either.
Okay. Yeah, the only thing I did is I cut a couple of non-animated slides
Mhm.
and just shaped off in
Oh,
5 seconds here and about 2 places.
one like
'Cause it was
that
just
is,
a little bit long.
yeah, that one should be.
All right.
See the ones with the animation? I
Mhm.
waited till it was just straight.
Uh-huh.
And for whatever reason, I don't have my notes.
Perfect.
Who needs notes?
Well,
Do you
Damn
want them?
I didn't bring mine either.
No, I mean, I've got a note page. I was thinking since I was hooked to an outside video source, I could do my note page here and push the slideshow out.
Oh.
But now I'm trying to do it on Google Drive. Just lets me do slides. It won't let me do a slideshow. It won't let me edit the slides or see the notes on the iPad. So, App Store.
Oh, that's the old one.
What?
I somehow pulled up the last.
Oh.
Never, that's the old one.
That's the one we're airing.
Maybe if I use.
Okay, Dean and his command center. Wow. Ooh, we can figure out his password as he types it in.
Oh, what? How?
Huh?
We got some bona fide hackers over here.
There's a creepy hand looking at you, Joe.
Okay, download.
Yeah, look up, the CRC is not very pleased. Okay, Joe, your phone is off?
Oh,
I think so.
Pull in here. Dang it,
Got the mic?
just about forgot
Wait,
about
I'll
this
bring
part.
it to you.
No, it's good. This one's wireless.
Okay.
Check me out. Just wandering around.
Wireless, yes.
Oh, and I don't have the, boy, oh boy, Corey.
What, Corey?
Jeez, Corey.
Yeah. Don't have my other stuff in here. My
Amateur
little
hour.
Facebook Live, lower third. I don't have my YouTube, my regular YouTube, lower
We
third.
got 6 minutes, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you throw me a bottle of water?
Mm-hmm.
My water cup's empty.
Okay, so Joe, I'll have that. I've got a little shortened URL that I'll pull up when we start talking about this 360 feed that we're doing throughout the show, and I'll leave it up for a little bit. So if you want to talk about the Facebook lower third, you know, we're
Sorry.
streaming the
Thank you,
Facebook,
Marcia.
Yep.
and then we'll have the final up on YouTube. And then after that, you can start talking about the 360 view that we have. We've got a URL people can quickly click on. I mean, it's a short URL. And I'll try to leave it on the screen because they'd have to write it down or type it in. So I'm going to leave that up for a bit while you guys are talking about the 360.
So do I need
Okay.
my headphones in at all for this?
No,
Okay.
we don't have anybody remote.
Isn't that wonderful?
You're gonna. What's that? What'd you say?
Nothing. I said, isn't that wonderful? No
Oh,
headphones.
Yeah, no headphones this time.
Come on, download.
Come on.
Whoa, excuse me. You got all the stuff
Yeah,
over
the girl
there.
next to her goes,
Yeah. All right. One last little bit. You can do it.
And I said,
yeah, Elsie would be good.
Probably I'll do is I'll hand stuff over to you to look at, kind of like the Gear VR and
Okay.
That's
the
weird.
cardboard.
A little blurry?
Blurry, the YouTube one is now blurry.
It's probably a bit of a buffering data thing that you're
Okay.
seeing there.
Mine is
It's
not
fine.
blurry.
Mine is good. Well,
Yeah, you're
mine's
probably
great.
getting some buffering, Barb, on that.
Got it, it's fine. Alrighty. Do you remember when you take your headset off to fix your hair? It's a little wild.
Wow.
Like he cares.
I got you.
Dean says, all I can do is, yes.
We have
All I
planned-
want to
we're
do
prepared
is
for
get
everything
through
here.
this hour, I don't care. I love it.
We've got Kelly's
Yeah.
Aquanet laying around here somewhere, so if you,
Yeah.
if you need to,
Aquanet.
Aquanet.
yeah, it's some sort of old school
But,
Aquanet stuff, yeah, it's
Aquanet, man.
old 80s hair metal stuff.
Well, why don't you just keep up? Mhm. You might be able to get it online.
I'm sure, yeah.
Used to make a shampoo years ago called Dream. Dream. There it is. They only stopped making that 40 years ago.
All right. I've got my speaker notes up on the iPad.
Hooray!
I'm happier.
Okay, I have my
Fabulous.
speaker notes. No, I
There
don't.
weren't any speaker
just
notes
kidding.
because there was no point.
I use them
Oh, come on now.
Fancy.
just to see what's coming up next.
Oh. All right, well, today it's a surprise.
Yeah,
Everything's
it's-
a surprise.
I'm just gonna make it up. Just for today, though. I'm not real comfortable with on the fly.
You, really? Yeah.
Hey, you did a good job on all the jokes here today.
Oh yeah,
Those jokes were horrible.
They were
Barb.
horrible.
Oh,
My
come on.
favorite was the Cubs and Cardinals.
I tried to
joke.
tune them out.
Push this is take one for the team. Push the Cubs. Fan off to the-
That doesn't like that. He does go through that. Yep, Joe, that was, I'm sure you enjoyed being put on the spot right there. Do something, Joe. Go
I
do
didn't.
something.
I was like, I don't.
Tap
I don't-
dance for us, Joe.
Yeah, really. I have limited. I don't know.
Joe, can you scoot your chair in that way just a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got.
And I'm gonna-
So there was a vendor at this conference I was at recently, and they had shark socks,
You got
Oh, my gosh.
some-
and it's for their product, Bridge or something like that.
That's a neat idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is
Giving somebody
cool.
side, that's cool.
So when Dean does a shark on the screen, you can show your
Like, you mean like these?
Yeah.
Did you get Marcia Ham some for
They're
Shark
exactly
Tank?
the same.
Oh, yeah, that would be,
Wouldn't
yeah, that
be
would
good
be,
for
yeah.
Shark Tank?
Spark.
Spark
Spark
Tank,
Tank,
yeah,
yeah,
Spark Tank.
yeah, we copyright for
Firework
the spark
guns.
stuff. Dean, if you wanna scoot in just that way a little bit too, that way that
Okay.
360 camera won't be getting you too bad.
Well, I can scoot the
That-
camera easier.
Yeah, you could turn it around. Actually, that's gonna be in that camera view, so I think I would leave it right there where you got it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you could go back towards the corner a bit more, Dean, with that 360 camera, go back towards the corner of this.
I don't know if
That-
it'll come on.
Yeah, that's better.
Just so it's closer to your face.
27 or 15 seconds.
Oh my gosh! Until it starts, or until that intro thing starts. That intro video starts, right?
Yeah, the little intro
Yeah,
piece,
isn't
yeah.
that cute
Yep.
here?
Yeah.
we
Good.
go.
Everybody watching on the 360 camera now knows
Yeah.
that we plan for nothing. It's as much a surprise to us
can't
as it
hear
is to
you.
you. They can't hear me?
Can't hear you on 360.
But they can look at our hand motions.
Okay.
Oh man. I can't even remember. Oh, this is the end right here.
That's it.
Cool. Well, hello again, and welcome to another edition of the Lunch and Learn. I am your host, Joe Vincent. I don't have anybody else helping me today, so it's all on me. Success or failure, crash and burn. I get to take all the credit or all the blame. However, that's only true if you're only watching this camera, because in this camera, it looks like it's just me. But it's not. And we have a really cool added feature for this episode that will help you see all of the people that are behind the scenes and beside the scenes and just waiting in the wings for me to stop talking so that they get an opportunity to talk. You can see all of those people right now if you go to the link here at the bottom third of our screen. That is a link to a live three-dimensional camera, and it's hosted right now on YouTube. I actually have it up on my screen. I was showing off my socks earlier, and then I realized that I just did that for anyone who was watching the YouTube channel. There it is. And so on that view, you can see that this room is a mess, first of all. And second of all, there's a lot of people behind the scenes. We got Corey over there, we got Jean, we got Barb. Dean's going to sit here patiently throughout this opening segment until we get to the meat of our episode today. But we're going to leave that camera up and running the whole time. And pro tip for those of you who like things like that, during the commercial breaks and the video breaks, I don't think you can hear us, but you can see us. So when I make a quick dash to the bathroom during Jamie's 3-minute video today, you'll know all of our secrets. We had the Aquanet and the mirrors out earlier fixing our hair, just so that we could look as good as we do. This doesn't happen all by itself, obviously. Today is before I get into it, Corey's prompting me via these images down here on the bottom. You can also watch the feed of this broadcast live on Facebook, on the Facebook. And we promise none of the data that we collect is sold to any third-party sources or research firms. Just go to its.atsu.edu/FB and you can catch the feed there. You can also see the finished, polished up, packaged program of this episode. It goes up in the next day or two after we finish up an episode, and that's on YouTube at the link there below. So if you want to comment or send us questions, use that live feed from Facebook, and we'll be able to catch those and maybe even work them into the episode and get you answers right there. If you want to refer other people to this episode after it's over, use the YouTube link, because Corey does some pretty good magic to make it look like we knew what we were doing and we prepared way in advance for all of this. So the studio is a mess today, even by our standards, because we have some really cool stuff to look at and talk about. And we got Dean Mogg with us. Dean is associate vice president, assistant vice president?
Nope, just a manager.
Great big,
Manager, academic
grand
technologies.
poobah master of information technology, sir, academic multimedia. And Dean is the tech guru over here, and he's brought a bunch of stuff with him today. All of it?
All of it.
All of it's here.
All the toys.
We got a custom computer. We got a 3D virtual reality headset. We have some augmented reality stuff. We got some 3D printing stuff, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Virtual reality, augmented reality, and 3D printing technology. And so Dean's going to walk through some of that with us today, and then show us how there are applications that are being used now or that are coming into the field now to impact the way we do healthcare and healthcare education. And that's where we close the loop and make it relevant to an ATSU Lunch and Learn. Because outside of that, they're just some really cool toys.
For sure.
And neat stuff on the horizon. So Dean, thanks for being here with us today. And I'm going to let you run the deal the way you've got it segmented, but
Sure.
Tell us about all the stuff you brought and what's going on.
All right. Well, what we were going to do is kind of give you a basic intro to all the different technologies that we have around here, a lot of our cool toys that we have here at ATSU. We're working them into medical education, and they're also working them into medical practice as well as things go on, as the technologies develop. I want to go ahead and load my slides there, Corey.
Yeah.
All right, so I put together, it's not a huge death by PowerPoint type of PowerPoint. It's just some
That's
images
good,
and
thank
stuff,
you.
and so some of the stuff we're talking about today is pretty high on the geekometer.
I
So
see that.
we're going to kind of go back a little bit and talk about some of the basic terms of things. What I was going to cover first. So you hear these acronyms kind of thrown around. You have 3D and VR, AR. So 3D is a three-dimensional object. Virtual reality is just that. It's virtual. You're not actually seeing the real world, and augmented reality augments the existing world. And 360 is a little bit different. It's kind of like we're doing with this the Gear 360 camera here, where you're just seeing a video playthrough that's captured with fisheye lenses. The 3D objects, kind of going back to talk a little bit about that, they're objects that are defined in a computer in 3 dimensions. They have length, width, and height to them. And if you're mathematically, you can think of X, Y, and Z axes from back in high school.
You weren't kidding about the geekometer.
Yeah. So, and 3D objects like this are then used in the other technologies. Augmented reality and the virtual reality use the 3D objects inside of them. And then also, in Star Wars movies or the Avengers movies coming up where everything's CGI, that's all based on 3D objects that are moved in an environment. The other thing with the 3D objects is they can be printed into the real world. Both on the Missouri campus and the Mesa campus, we have 3D printers, several of them on the Missouri campus, and then we can go ahead and make objects. I brought a few things here that are kind of small, but like a vertebrae. Right there. And a set of teeth that we've scanned and made. And you'll see a little bit of how this was done in Jamie's video a little bit later. The DO TouchNet Award, A.T. Still's hand. That's for you, Joe.
Oh, wow. Yeah, thank you.
So,
Top performer.
yeah. So there are objects that are digital that instead of remaining digital and being viewed through virtual reality or in a movie, we brought them into the physical world by printing them through a specialized printer that uses plastic. And some of the other 3D objects with the 3D printing, you can print things that are impossible to make in the real world. So you can have impossible type objects. They're actually using 3D printing to do some aircraft engine parts now, so they can print with metal. They lay down a metal powder and use a laser to melt the metal to 3D print.
Oh, cool.
Prosthetics. One of the kind of cool things they're doing now with, especially like people in the military or in bombings and things like that, where they might have a facial injury, they can 3D scan or MRI one side of their head and recreate it on the other side of their head to print implants to match their face, to reconstruct a face. And then one kind of cool thing, it's not quite 3D, people don't think about it that way, but like ultrasounds now with the 3D and the 4D technologies and ultrasounds, where you can have you can get that 3D visualization of a infant in the womb. So kind of moving on from 3D objects into something that uses 3D objects, I'm going to talk a little bit about virtual reality. So virtual reality creates a virtual world for you to be in. You're cut off from the rest of everything else. You usually have headphones on where your audio is at, and a lot of times the audio is directional, to where if something is happening over here in the world, you can look over at that because the audio tells you it's there. There's a picture on the screen here of the headset that's an HTC Vive, and the fronts of the headsets are blocked off to where you can't see the outside world, so you're kind of sealed in. There's smartphone-based type things. I've got a Samsung Gear VR here, and it's kind of the same way, where it's just you snap your smartphone into that, and then it displays things. It's not as robust as some of the appliance-based ones, which we'll try here in just a minute with you, Joe.
Oh, good.
And then, you know, for something cheap and easy for the kids, you can get something called a Google Cardboard. And they're, you know, $7-10, and you can buy them at Walmart or online at Amazon.com. And you end up just taking put your smartphone inside of this. It's got 2 little lenses, and you put your smartphone in there, and there's special apps you can use too. And then it tracks your head movements where you can look around within
Oh, neat.
a virtual world. This isn't nearly as immersive as some of the other stuff. The Gear VR and the Samsung, the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift that are more pro model ones, and this stuff's evolving minute by minute, it seems like.
Yeah, sure. As soon as you get it, there's a new version. It's like
Yeah.
a flat screen TV.
And kind of some of the downsides to virtual reality are that you are enclosed, so if there's movement on the screen and you're not moving, it can cause some people like vertigo or motion sickness.
Oh,
Some people, it affects some people more than others, just like any kind of motion sickness does. And the better the system, the less that tends to occur. The higher the frame rate, it tends to be better. And some of the medical uses for VR at this time, the military is like the big user of it. For PTSD and some other things like that, they can put people in a virtual world and it helps them cope with some of the stuff they've seen. In the hospitals, they're using it in like burn wards, and they show people like images of the Arctic and you know, penguins, and they're nice and cool, and it shows, it's scientifically been shown to reduce like pain levels on them.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, there's some of the stuff for VR. A lot of it is gaming, but there are some medical uses for the virtual reality, and a lot of it seems to be around, you know, kind of therapy and mental well-being.
Yeah.
And people think of a VR being new. This is, I went and scanned this today. It's a boarding pass I had for like in 1992 in St. Louis Union Station. They had a giant thing you stood in and had a headset on. So I mean, it's been around a long time, but now that we're moving into more smartphones and faster processing, the graphics are better, and it's more mobile that way. But so virtual reality and you know, 3D stuff has been around forever. People don't think of it that way, but it's just now really gaining traction and gaining acceptance.
Interesting. Yeah, you know, when I think about that stuff, I remember the first Pixar movie, Toy Story. Sort of the first ones to start using more 3D type modeling for cartoons, right? And Toy Story was like a huge leap forward in animation. And a lot of that stuff starts as, it's interesting how some of it starts in like military application and then works its way down, and some of it starts in like gaming and entertainment application and works its way up, and they end up becoming cross-platform.
Right.
Which kind of carries us to why is it at ATSU? Like, first of all, I think I speak for everyone when I say no fair. Why do you get to play with all the toys? And second of all, and I don't want to jump ahead in your presentation, but I think maybe that's where everybody goes in their brain is, what do we do with it?
Right. And with us, it'd be more, you know, medical education type things. It's very immersive to where you can bring up an object and look at it close up. And I guess that's kind of a good segue into heading over to the virtual reality machine here for you and then put your goggles on.
Oh, you want to do it now?
Let's do it now.
Okay. Okay, before we do that, I have a couple of questions. Can I clarify a couple of things?
Certainly, yep.
So I get 3D printing. I think we've had that around here enough that I think everybody gets, this is a plastic printed hand, and we've all watched one of those things work, and we get it. You mentioned some medical applications. I think that there's some stuff, especially in dentistry, that they're able to do.
Right.
And so that's where it sort of brings it from, hey, here's a cool thing we can print, to here's a cool thing that's on site where your dentist doesn't have to send off for 6 or 8 weeks.
And it's really big in dentistry as well, too, where now dentists are able to print in their shop.
Right, and instead of waiting 2 months, your little personalized appliance can be ready in a couple hours. That's really cool. Virtual reality and augmented reality were ones that took me a while to understand the difference. Because I think I was aware of Google Glass that came out several years ago. And that was the first big like consumer application, augmented reality, where, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm actually seeing the real world.
Right.
And then the augmented reality adds overlays.
Right, you're augmenting the real world.
Right. So that I feel like Terminator. Right? I look at a person and I automatically can see their vitals and their weak spots and their where I should shoot them and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Their
a
heat
heads-up
signatures.
display type of a thing.
That's right, like a HUD. And then virtual reality, for everybody who's seen Ready Player One, is like Ready Player One, where there's nothing about the real world.
Right, or even Tron from back in the 80s.
Yeah, or Tron, right. Well, you went super old on us there, Dean. You got to be careful. I'm not old enough to remember Tron. But yeah, so that it's completely immersive.
Right.
And I could walk into a wall. Like my physical presence is almost forgotten.
Right.
Because there's applications for all of those. And so what are we going to do first?
First, we're going to do the virtual reality, then we'll get to augmented reality after that.
All right, virtual reality. Okay, so I'm gonna take this guy off. So Gene and Barb, especially if they're watching the 3D camera, that I can actually talk to them. This is cool. Any pranks that you wanted to pull, any gestures or things that you wanted to do to me, and I didn't know it. I think now will be the time.
Will be a surprise for you.
Okay, all right, great. I'll find out about it later when I watch the finished video on YouTube. Right? Okay, here we are. Oh, and they can see.
Yeah.
So the feed we have right now is what's going on in the headset.
Exactly.
Ah, cool.
So Joe's putting on the headset here, and with 3D, in a lot of the virtual reality, you use controllers to help yourself, because you're in the virtual world, so you can't see your hands. So you'll pick up that.
Oh, that's so weird. I can see that. Can they see that, Corey?
Yeah.
Yep.
Look, it's like I have two lightsabers.
Exactly. So then you can point them at the model, and pick out different features on that on the guy there.
Oh, I see. Now wait, I want to test that. I can walk around this guy.
Correct.
Yeah. I feel like I'm kicking a cord that glitches it out a little bit. So here he is. Here's his front.
Yep.
I feel like I should be able to reach out and touch him. That's so weird. And then I can go around.
Correct.
And go all the way around. This is awesome. So as an anatomy, as an anatomy student, it feels like this should be helpful. Yeah.
Right, and then you can pick different systems of the body. You can pick skeleton and.
Okay, so let's do skeleton, and I just trigger it.
Yep, and point your finger at one of the skeleton.
So let's just do a skeleton.
Yep.
Oh, there he is.
And
Nice teeth.
You can click on the individual pieces in the bones. It will give you an explanation of what they are.
Can they? And they can still see what I'm seeing.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So like, I feel like I can stick my head.
You can.
Inside
You just
here.
did. Yeah.
That's incredible. Look, there's his chest bone. Now I'm inside. I wonder if I can. What happens if I?
Yep.
Oh, that is ridiculous. Hang on.
New meaning to getting in somebody's
Ready?
You
head.
can look through his eye.
Where's his eye holes? There they are. Well, they're not very big.
That's
So
just,
much-
it'd be for the nerves. That's
so much stuff
the
is in
optic
the way.
nerves. There you go. Now
I'm
you
getting
get
there.
through the sinuses.
Yeah, there we go. That is so. Ooh, look at all that stuff. That's all.
Your sinuses.
We need a doctor in here. Yeah. Do you see all those little?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, I'm sorry. We'll spin this.
So there's a lot of different applications we have for that, and
Yeah, and this now I've got a. What have I got? An arm?
yeah, with the shoulder blade on it.
Or I could do a knee. Oh, that's cool. It's even got part of the spine connected in there. Yeah, all right. Sorry, don't let me get distracted. Skull base. Hang on. We should do a brain. Yeah. A big brain.
Sure.
Boom. Now look. And all of his nervous system. Oh, I so want to reach out with my hand.
Right.
And I expect you to be right there.
Right, and
But
some
you're
of
not.
the newer systems and the more advanced systems are doing now do have haptic feedback to where
Where, like, I
or
could-
something like that, you touch something, you feel.
Ah, got it. I just can't get over, like, look at that in there. I can't get over how detailed this is.
And it's a lot different wearing that rather than seeing it just on the screen in 2 dimensions. The 3-dimensional view of it is really immersive.
Yeah. So this has to be, do we use this a lot?
Oh,
In education
roll it
now?
out. Right now, some of this, the anatomy professors don't think is quite detailed enough, but we're getting there.
Uh-huh.
But it would be, it could be a good study aid for a student.
Look at, I cannot imagine the amount of work put in. Can you see that?
Yeah.
How I can like go into the middle
The heart could, yeah, it doesn't.
or go through?
Yeah. See the valves?
That's incredible.
All right, we're gonna
Look
be
at
here
this
all
Tom.
day if we leave you in there, so.
All right, are you gonna take me out?
I'm gonna take you
All right, okay.
Pull your headset off.
I wasn't really
All
sure
right.
where I was. I appreciate you doing that.
Yep.
That was the coolest thing I've ever.
Yeah.
That was the coolest. Did you guys?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it has to be a little different watching it than actually being in it. Like I could hear Dean's voice. I really wanted to turn around and see Dean there, and he wasn't there. The thing was completely immersive.
Yeah, totally. Get you involved.
And I
in
really
it.
wanted to grab the guy. I felt like I should be able to pick him up and move him. That was so cool. Thank you. We're still on the. There we are. All right.
Okay.
How's my hair? I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding, really, but I have to say it. Okay, so that was virtual reality. I assume there's some augmented reality stuff we could play with, but
Right.
let's give everybody a break. And we're going to go to look at Jamie's deal that he put together about 3D printing.
Correct.
And would you set that up for us? What are we getting ready to see?
It's Jamie kind of going over some of the projects we've done just to give people ideas what we can do. Some of the virtual, the 3D stuff, we can design things in-house or change existing models or scan things and then create something new. We've done it a lot for the research, Steel Research Institute. We're doing some dental work with the dentistry professors, and we're building little models of like the AT Steel's hand there. So there's a lot of interesting things we can do. So Jamie does most of this work for ATSU, so we're going to go ahead and have him talk a little bit about his projects.
Great. Here we go.
Okay, guys, we're good.
Okay.
That was
The 3
so
minutes.
cool.
I hope I didn't cut you off, Dean, but I thought we were at the halfway mark, so.
Okay.
Was that okay?
Yep.
Where are we at
Yeah.
in your plan?
Yeah, we're doing okay.
All right.
I can make it last as long as we need to.
Well, you can drive. If you ever want to cut me off and say, no, I want to do this first, or I want to tell you about it, just do it. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
What I'll do, I'm not gonna make any waves or anything until we get about to
10-minute mark.
10 minutes, until the end mark. And then you can kinda do whatever you need to do.
Okay, should I put my regular mic back on, Corey? Should
Yeah,
I?
put your regular one back on and I'll go turn the wireless down.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, that worked good.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was neat. Yeah, that was very cool.
Your enthusiasm helped.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It is,
it's just like,
it is
wow.
totally something, you'll have to try that out. It's totally something looking at it and actually looking at it. We'll,
Uh-huh.
we'll have to get you over there.
That was pretty awesome.
It's a different, totally different experience to be immersed in it. It's hard to really describe to anybody because it is like you're really there.
Mhm. Many, many, many years ago, at a museum in Chicago, and all of you would not be old enough to remember it, they had the living heart that you could walk through,
Uh-huh.
and that was so cool.
Oh,
I think it was
yeah.
in Chicago.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Like an actual
Boom, boom,
physical
boom,
model?
boom. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
huge,
Mm-hmm.
and you walk in, boom, boom.
The level of detail they have built
Oh,
into
wow.
that, it's pretty impressive.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
all
it's
the
kinda like
layers.
we were talking about that, you remember the movie Fantastic Voyage from the 70s? The one where they injected the people in a little spaceship with a
Yes.
little body,
Yes.
I feel
Yeah,
like
that's a good
the
idea.
school bus,
We'll
the
do
magic
that with
school
him
bus
next.
has done
Yeah,
that.
Fantastic
We're
Voyage.
gonna do that with you, Joe, next. We're gonna
Inject you in a space, shrink you down, stick
I'm
you in a
ready.
syringe, and
I'm
stick you in a
game.
vein.
Totally game.
No, not me.
Let's do it.
That gives some detail there. Kinda looks like a kid that needs braces, though.
That was so cool. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it when you get it on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
Oh, those are cool looking. I bet that takes a lot of print.
It's a lot of different pieces stuck together with ballistic
Yeah.
gel.
Yeah.
I
Hang
thought
on
the
1
really
minute.
cool one was the two vertebrae that Jamie linked
Mhm.
together. That was really, I'm sure took a lot of work.
So who's actually pouring the ballistic gel in there?
I think Debbie is.
Debbie is?
Yep.
Like in the cylinder and,
Yep.
okay.
And Jamie gave noted that Debbie
Yeah, Debbie
was in
does.
there, so.
So are you gonna talk about the procedure of contacting them, because,
Yeah. I
Oh,
can do
that's a
that.
good idea. Contacting them to request help with this stuff, or if you have ideas.
Contact Jamie for design, but the library to print things.
Oh, okay.
12 seconds.
All right, some pretty cool applications of that already happening now. And if I was interested in designing or printing these things, how do I go about doing that?
To get things designed, you probably want to get a hold of Jamie Carroll. And the best way to do that is go to service.atsu.edu, which is the website for the ATSU service ticket, or you can contact us directly. It's jcarroll@atsu.edu. That would be for creating things or modifying things. If you have a file that you can download, there's places online like the NIH, National Institutes of Health, has a 3D library
Oh, cool.
where you can download objects from that, and those can be printed. And something that the things that that is good for would be like an abnormal type of thing. You can get any kind of 100 normal hearts on Amazon that are pretty detailed, but the abnormal things where there's something wrong inside the heart, and they can take an MRI and then convert that into an object and be able to print that to show students what an interior view of what an abnormal heart would be.
Cool. And I think we had, a few months ago, we had Bruce Young on here that had a bunch of animal models that he had done the same way, I assume.
Yeah, and when we kind of helped him with that, and then I worked with Bruce a little bit to get things kind of figured out and repair some of the models from the scanner. And then Debbie Summers in the library here did the printing on that.
Those were done off of scans of real animals
Right,
that he had in his
correct.
lab.
Right, and the hand there you have, like they showed in the video, it was done from a plaster cast of an actual model. And then,
That's cool.
And then shrunk down.
He had tiny hands. I mean, look at that.
That was scaled down for.
Oh, this is to
yeah.
scale. Okay, all right. We're learning new things about our university's founder. He was
If you want to see
tiny.
the real one, it's in the museum here. But yeah, the library on both the Missouri and the Arizona campus does a lot of the printing of objects, and then our department would be more of the fabricating and coming up and modifying existing objects.
Cool. All right, so we've got some of the virtual reality stuff covered.
Correct.
Now, and I can see maybe more detail needs to be added, but it seems like as a student that would be a really cool way to get to monkey around
Right,
with.
and the cost points on those are coming down. They're coming up with more standalone headsets rather than having to be tethered to a computer. So it's getting better, and with the next few years, I think you'll see a lot more of it.
Very good. So what about augmented reality? Because I think as you and I talked yesterday some, and you know way more about this than me, but it seems
Right.
like there's a lot of applications for augmented reality, maybe that are even more accessible than the
Right.
full VR.
And the augmented reality, you have a headset kind of like the VR, but you can see through the front of it. So you're seeing your surroundings, you're seeing the real world. You can then it overlays 3D objects on the real world where you can walk around them, and it uses cameras to catch where you're at in your sense within your location. More and more too, the smartphones are getting in on this. So the object bring up my slide there, Corey. So
Oh, there's a VR headset.
yep,
Cool.
that one. So on the screen there, it's a Microsoft HoloLens, and it's kind of more of the higher end ones. And then you can see like it's got the clear glass on it where you can see through it, and it's got little camera sensors there, and it projects onto the glass, so you kind of almost like a heads-up display. But as you walk around, it knows where you're at in position in the room, and it maps out the room, and you can put a 3D object in space and manipulate it in space. So that one's kind of cool too. It's kind of the same idea as some of the virtual reality stuff, but you could do some more interesting things. To me, it has more practical application. You know, you can imagine a doctor overlaying an MRI scan on a patient on the table and being able to, you know, for surgeries or something like that, to where you could have, you know, a real view of that particular patient and the anatomy of that patient overlaid on top of the patient.
Oh, very good. Cool.
And you know, I mentioned smartphones too. There are more applications now coming out with smartphones to be able to overlay images on reality. And there's it's a picture from Microsoft, but some of the anatomy stuff you can do with it. So kind of like you were doing on the other one, but you see your surroundings as well.
Right, which I can see how that would be advantageous.
And it tends to have less motion sickness for people because they have visual cues in their real environment.
Uh-huh.
One of the cool thing about augmented reality is the ability to get information about things in real life. It can recognize things like this is a painting in a museum, and it brings up the information about it when you hold up a tablet to it, to augmented reality. Google Translate was kind of a neat one too, where you can go up to a sign in France and hold your phone or tablet up to it, and it would translate real time
Really?
what that says.
Well, that's handy. My
So-
next trip to France, I'm going to do that for sure.
So that's, you know, some of the kind of cool things, augmented reality. IKEA, some other places are opening up now too, where you can look at virtual models of furniture in your own house.
Oh, yeah.
So you could bring up a couch and say, do I like that couch here?
Oh,
So
that's genius.
there's a couple other places now that are doing it. IKEA is kind of the one that started with it. And gaming and stuff like that. Everybody, you know, last summer or last year, we were talking about Pokemon Go and where you're overlaying a virtual 3D object in the real world, and you know, you got kids outside and playing with things, but it's kind of
walking off of bridges. And,
right.
Yeah. My son was all over the place with Pokemon Go. There was a number of professors actually you'd see
Right.
wandering around the parking lot as well. So
Yep, and that it kind of it's augmented reality, but people don't think of it that way. They thought, oh, it's just a game, but I mean that's what it's doing. It's taking that 3D model and putting it in the real world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess we're more familiar with it than we think we
Right.
are.
Yeah, and some of the other use cases. I mean, past medical and stuff like that. I've heard like Volkswagen factory workers can wear headsets and learn how to fix a machine and do some training stuff like that. So there's a lot of applications and potential for augmented reality.
And you mentioned at the beginning you called it a HUD, and so like the military has used this kind of idea
Right.
for a long time
Uh-huh.
with displaying something up onto a lens that
Right.
you're looking like the windshield.
Yeah.
And even cars use it some now, right?
Some, yeah. It's not 3D.
True.
So it's not a 3D object.
Sure,
It's just a
fair.
display, but it's kind of that same concept where
Gotcha.
you're looking at something and you're able to actually see through it as well. And then
Oh, you have one.
brought our HoloLens
Nice.
to do a quick demo on this. Let me minimize that. And so
You're gonna play Pokemon Go with the really expensive.
I just might. So this goes over the head. It's got speakers in it. It's actually a little computer in its own. And I can select live stream. I can connect wirelessly to this. So
Oh.
it's its own computer.
There's the production code.
And we can. I can give you a quick tour of the studio here. Corey and Barb over there. Corey has a little puppy dog there.
Oh, but he doesn't really. Oh my God, I thought that was really there for a minute.
No, but it's a 3D object that I placed there. And
And it's loud.
yep. But then, I mean, that's kind of, they call them holograms with the HoloLens. So you're putting something in space and able to look at it. And I guess one thing with this, I've got some other menus open here where I can look at, and I'm controlling it with my hand instead of using a controller you used in on the virtual reality set.
Mhm.
I'm using my hand as a controller for this. So here I've got like a tooth I've placed here in the middle of the room. So you can see all the junk behind it in the studio, but you're also seeing the tooth there.
Yeah.
And Jamie Carroll actually created this one. We made it so a demo professor could come around in the classroom and see the different structures in the tooth and be able to talk about it and bring it up. And you can do different things with it as far as make things bigger or smaller, and work with them. Another thing, let me close this. It's gonna cooperate with me. There we go, all right. And so kind of something similar to the one you had there with the virtual reality. I've got an anatomy thing here about the brain for augmented reality. So now it's placing this object here, and I'm able to kind of walk around it and see it. You can see it on the screen, but the people in the studio can't. They see just air here. And put my hand through it, and you can kind of see my hand through it. The display is on my glasses.
But it's also able to broadcast it out.
Yes, so I'm going out to a PC, which is broadcasting it out to that. And I'm sorry if I'm moving my head too fast, maybe people are sick by watching this. My apologies. So I can, open this up, and I've got several different things in here I can play with. I can remove different objects.
That took away the skin.
Yeah, took away the muscles, you take away the respiratory system, and you can kind of see the circulatory system still there, and some of the vasculature for the head. I can take that away. Now the skeleton, I can pop that open.
That's ridiculous.
I can explode that and put the different things on the face. Hide that, and then I had just the brain now. And
now you have nothing. Oh, there we go.
Explode the brain out a little bit. And there's different programs to this, so you're downloading apps, and you're downloading different things, and this one actually has a little feature that lets you click on something and it tells you about it, gives a little explanation about what it is. So it's kind of a neat way, and then Joe was showing on the other thing, you can get up close to it, you can walk around it, it's just kind of hanging there in space.
That's very cool. The fact that you haven't run into anything yet is also
well, and I can see
impressive.
everything around me here.
Yeah.
There we go. And there's like games and things too. There's robo raids, if there's little aliens and you have to shoot them, and so there's, and you could also run a internet browser from here, so you could theoretically do some work and things.
That's what I need to do this afternoon if I can just borrow your
Yep.
headset.
So there's Land of Dinosaurs, but there's a lot of anatomy. There's one where you can put the stars and the planets in front of you, and for younger kids that'd be great, and for medical application it'd be more for the anatomy type of things.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed it's got like a visual pointer. You have a little dot in the middle of your screen.
Correct. I got a little cursor.
So it knows what you're looking at.
Right. So it's talking to me, and
Oh, there it goes. What? Oh, look. That is too cool. That's the galaxy, yeah?
so I think it's just kind of a neat little thing. Okay.
Doesn't want to go away.
And see if I can get it closed down now, but not important. All right, we can move on. But these, they're coming down in price. They're not cheap because it's actually like a laptop or type of computer built inside of this.
How much is that one?
These aren't actually released to the public yet. They're only for, like they call Microsoft developers, about $2,000.
Wow, and the public can't even get one. Because
Right.
I totally want one. For Christmas. For anyone that's making their Christmas list for me right now. That's the coolest. And look, you even look fashionable.
Yeah,
Right.
Don't you agree?
yes, highly
Of course,
technical.
yeah.
Highly technical sunglasses.
Very much so.
That's awesome. Hey, I got it to close. by the way.
All right.
Cause that's hard, that's the one thing.
That's
really
the
hard.
hardest
That's
part,
very,
actually.
very
I
hard.
feel like I'm an
Yeah.
expert
Yeah.
at this point.
And, kind of moving on to the next thing I was going to talk about was, 360 video, which I threw in here because people kind of put them together because it's a 360 sort of experience, and you can use a headset like a Google Cardboard or like the Oculus here to watch these things and move around as you're moving, and it follows you. But what it is one of these cameras has a lens on the front and a lens on the back, and it captures 360 degrees of video around it.
Oh man, I can't wait to see what happens on the feed when you twist that thing around.
Yeah.
So I think we've all done, even places like Google Earth offer this now, right? You could,
Right.
if you had a little VR headset, you could drop onto a popular landmark and you can look around. It's almost like street views, but it's all attached to your head movement.
Correct.
And so what we got here is a library tour?
That was museum,
Museum.
classrooms, and so this is something I put together for the AOA conference where we kind of went around the campus and we looked at different things. So if you search for the ATSU Campus 360 tour on YouTube, just on the public YouTube search, you can find this. And it tends to work best on PCs, and it tends to work best on the Google Chrome browser.
Oh, very good. Well, that's cool. So these videos are available to someone, or they can go watch them somewhere?
Right, on YouTube. So, and you don't have to have the, you can watch them on a laptop, kind of like I was doing here, but it's more immersive if you load them onto your YouTube mobile browser, YouTube mobile app, and then you can watch them on your phone if you
Okay.
insert it into one of these devices.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Man, don't you guys just want to go play now?
And so, I mean,
We've got all the toys here.
we had all of our toys. We junked up the studio and set all this stuff in here, and just to kind of give people ideas at this point. I mean, we're academic technology is willing to work with people and figure out what we can do to make some of these really innovative things work in a classroom. We're up for experimenting with you. And pretty much, the best way to get a hold of us is through the ITS ticketing system at service.atsu.edu, and just letting us know how we can help you.
Well, that was going to be my next question. So I can't help but watch the stuff and think of, I wonder if I could use that to do this.
Right.
And so you're open to that. If someone who's teaching a class or a student who wants to make a new Spark Tank proposal, or
Right.
they can just give you a call and you'll play around or talk it through with them, and maybe
Run it through, and if it's if it's something we can do, we can make it happen.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I mean, it kind of goes along with our other services and academic technologies. We do all the video work like this. The studio, Corey and Barbara here are doing a great job behind the scenes. If you're watching the 360 feed, you can see them over working the switcher. Photography on campus, and then graphics. Jamie Carroll does, besides the 3D graphics, excellent medical and dental illustration. Live event type stuff. We do signage, and we do a lot of different things in academic technology.
Right.
So just have to let us know how we can help you out.
Well, Dean, I guess that was a good final word. This has been a fantastic demonstration. I appreciate you dragging all this stuff
Right,
down
and
here.
it's really better if you see it in person rather than watching it on a flat screen like that, being immersed in that. So if you want to try this stuff out, let me know too. We can set up a time, an appointment to kind of look at it and check it out.
You better be careful. I'm glad we didn't show them the Star Wars
The Star Wars
game. You
thing
would
is
have
really
a-
awesome.
You would have a list.
Yeah.
It's like going to Disney World. Just go down to Dean's office. That's cool. Thank you for making the offer. So that's
.atsu.edu.
service.atsu.edu. They use that ticketing system for requests, but it's incredibly responsive. I feel like I use it all the time. So if you have an idea of a way one of the technologies Dean showed us today could maybe work in your classroom or in your department or with a project that you need to tackle, I think they're open to finding as many fruitful and productive applications for this stuff as we can find. And once again, I will add these items to my Christmas list, and we'll put them underneath the produced YouTube video when that package is posted in a couple of days. Thank you for
Sure.
coming and spending time with us. Thanks to all of you who spent your lunch hour joining us for this experimental ride through all of the cool technologies that are making their way onto the scene. Once again, if you watched this broadcast and you'd like to refer someone else to it, first of all, we're still going on Facebook, and I think the way Facebook Live works is it'll post the recording as soon as our live broadcast ends, so you'll be able to go back to it immediately. We're also going to have that up on YouTube. You got the addresses for both of those there. So definitely check it out again, refer it to a friend. Let us know if there are ways that we could make this production or these presentations better. If you have ideas for topics that you'd like to see us addressed, I'm up for anything. Gene doesn't even write me a script anymore because I make it all up as I go anyway. But we have a good time exploring different things going on in different places within ATSU and all of the cool stuff that normally we wouldn't get out and find out about unless it just happened to be right up our alley. So we love doing these lunch and learns. Human resources and ITS and academic technologies and all of the departments that come together to put them on. We have a great time doing it, and we're glad that you were able to join us for this episode. Everybody say bye. This is your last chance to wave. All right, they do it now. Hooray. And with that, we're gonna say goodbye for now. We will see you again on the next episode of the Lunch and Learn. Have a good afternoon.
Okay.
Okay,
That was good. I liked it.
yeah, it was very good. I tell you what, when you're flying by the seat of your pants like that, I'm sitting here the whole time. I don't think I took a breath.
You're like, oh my God, what's he
No,
gonna
my
say?
breath
What's he gonna
almost-
say? No, that was great.
Yeah.
Good job, Dean. Are you
Yeah.
sick? Or you got a little
Just,
laryngitis?
yeah, a little bit. I've had some junk for weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. put
Everything's
on-
blooming
put-
now. I've noticed
put-
my sinuses have
Yeah.
been driving me crazy lately.
If Dean's sick, be sure to put on his headset.
Yeah, for real.
No, I think it's more allergies more than anything else.
Yeah, it's bothered. I have one son that it gets pretty good. He's been suffering for a couple weeks too. Is the 3D camera off?
No, it's still on. Yeah, we're still streaming live.
I'm here. I'm taking my shirt off.
Okay.
Okay, that was a good
Cool,
one,
yeah,
guys.
that was cool.
Great job, everybody. Great
Oh.
job.
All right.
And
360's off.
It's a beautiful afternoon. Let's just you guys just take the rest of the day.
we need to get a little, like one of those little cameras on top of the building or whatever. You can just virtually put the headset on and you can be
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah,
You
that'd be
can-
fun.
yeah, look
be
like
awesome.
you're at your desk, but you know, actually be outside.
All sorts of productive applications.
Yeah. You
You know,
gotta
I
be
was
creative in
thinking
how you think of,
For
you know,
student
angles.
orientation, it would be so cool to have a setup that the students could come have just a little bit. I mean, you'd have to be there to really, Gene's just going, oh, Gene, God, no.